know how to get into actual conversation with a normal human being. Fucking Overwatch nerd.
Oh, I got those from like what was it? PAX East when I went as part of a journalist group, 2015 I think. That was pretty cool. I didn't get in line for Overwatch because that was a massive line and it was never stopping.
You bullshit. You don't play Tracer. You play Mercy. You fucking scrub.
I would play Mercy because like there's got to be a dedicated support at least somewhere. Let's see how we sound on here.
I like how I say that, and I've never really even played Overwatch before. Like I've seen Overwatch, and I know how to do it, but I just never played it. Some people tell me, oh, play it. I'm like, oh, one day. I might get it on summer sale if it's like ridiculously cheap. I still gotta check out that other game, and I also have to get my new debit card. Maybe if I get my new debit card, I'll do that. Then again, it depends if my laptop can handle. I don't know if my laptop could handle Overwatch.
I played an Overwatch knockoff.
What was it? Battleborn?
No, Paladins.
Paladins. Oh yeah, because Paladins was free and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sound level.
That's how they make an Overwatch knockoff and it's free. It's like, what the fuck are you getting out of that?
Well, I mean, they're trying to cut into the free mobile market, so yeah.
Usually people try to make free shit to be at least like, was there at least ads or something?
I mean, you have to. It's free to play, but you have to buy the heroes. Otherwise, you're like playing them on like a rotating hero thing.
Okay, so there's the thing. That's how you know if there's a true bootleg when there's money involved in a stupid way.
Send out a little message. Live. But yeah, so
it's getting wholesome. Nice. And then we're gonna get to sadcore.
So
Tom O'Malley's life.
Tom O'Malley?
We should be saving the funnies for after we start the show. What are we doing?
Sorry.
Okay. Well, greetings to those of you who are tuning in. My name is Ian.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Angus. Sup, dudes?
And welcome to the newly rebranded Rockland Rebel Radio, a mostly local music podcast.
Yeah.
We are professionally unprofessional.
Yeah. That's great. We should have like as like a bumper or something with like music and jingles and like just like record scratches and like.
I'm working on it.
And then like, but have to do it in like real radio voice. Like none of us even say it. We just paid someone to do it.
Ben Lopez.
Oh yeah, he could do it. Yeah.
He's saying he wants to do voice acting work, so I guess
make him do it, and then we'll like, and then because I don't think any of us even have a bass voice to do like talking radio voice. I can't even fake it.
Yeah. So. Alright, with all that little diatribe over, let's get right into the meat of the business, talking about what we've been listening to these last few weeks, because we've had a tiny bit of a hiatus. We've probably listened to a lot of stuff.
I listened to too much, and I actually forgot to make a list, so you guys can start to make a list.
Would either of you like to kick us off right now, or...
Have you ever heard of Bus Driver?
Bus Driver? Honestly, that's a very big no from me.
That!
Yeah, I've never
Bus
heard
Driver.
of
Bus Driver.
What is Bus Driver?
Bus Driver's he's a hip hop artist who has a flow that like he just sounds like entertaining and silly, and it's fun, and I like it.
Interesting.
Also, there was a music video released for Element by Kendrick.
Ooh, honestly, that's interesting. I'll have to
the one where he repeats that he'll make it look sexy.
Oh right. Okay. Is what's his name? The actor, is he in that one too?
No, Don Cheadle is not.
He's not.
No, he's in the video for DNA.
Yeah, but he didn't make a reappearance in Element.
No.
All right.
Instead, said Bus Driver's a rap thing. I wish it was like some guy who was an actual retired bus driver who started like his own like solo, like his own very crappy rock thing, like the Eagles or something. But it's not as popular.
You know,
It'd be funny.
I would listen to that in a heartbeat.
He has like a full-on dad stash. Like, it just kind of think of Bill, our bus driver, like started his own rock band called the Eagles after he like pretty much like the Eagles, but not as good and not as famous. That'd be awesome for a band called Bus Driver. That'd be fucking beautiful. I'm gonna go get my iPod after that funny now. I need to check what lyrics this is.
Alright, off to a good start. But yeah, so you have a little bit more to tell me about Bus Driver? Because I mean, actually,
one thing interesting that he's done is he's had a couple of songs where it samples the melody of like a classical tune, and then like he raps over like the melody of it. Like the way that he's rapping is actually replicating the classical tune. Mainly his most famous song, "Imaginary Places," and another song called "Me Time," where he actually like replicates a classical tune that was used in like a commercial for something. I think it might have been like car insurance or something. It's like.
Wait, so you're saying he just rap but recreates like classical melodies or something? Like,
yeah, he raps over the classical melodies, like
matching pitch and tempo.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that actually sounds cool. I want to hear this now.
On the songs "Imaginary Places" and "Me Time," he does that, and it's cool.
That's pretty kick-ass. I'll have to check that out. Is it on Apple Music, or did you find it some... Alright, I'll have to give that a little look-see.
Hey, here's Bus Driver. It's just already open. The song "Much." That one's fun.
We're just listening.
Yes.
I need to like
So, kind of going on the hip-hop train, I ended up checking out Times Infinity by Watsky. That album, I have to listen to it a little bit more to digest what's going on, but I really like it. And I can see you have a lot of inspiration of Watsky in your music. Like, your delivery style is a lot similar to his, your flow is a lot similar to his.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I say, like, Times Infinity was a lot of fun. I'd say, yeah, if you haven't listened to it, definitely check it out, because like rapping, but with a high production value behind him, like, the dude's very talented, and I can see why Cam and Slowdive and many others love to listen to the dude.
Yeah.
It's been maybe a week or... No, I think I listened to it during the Hunter Hayes show at the Music Circus, so my memory's not super fresh on the contents of Times Infinity, but I guess that's my little diatribe on it. But so, Angus.
I listened to way too many bands, a lot of metal bands. I gotta think of which one to start with. I mean, I know I have a quick one I want to start with first and just say, oh, I listened to like 2 of Machine Head's albums, because I've had like the 2 songs off of different different compilations. One of them was the song Locust, and the other one was the song Now I Lay Thee Down. Locust was off of, I gotta check it out. It was pretty much, I think it was just, the album's called Unto the Locust, a very uncreative name. I thought that was kind of stupid. They're just quick things. I didn't listen to them too much, but I actually kind of, they're both good. They're both pretty heavy, but like the Blackening was the other one, which is, it's an older album's flow quality. They're both pretty decent. I actually shouldn't have talked about them because I have nothing. I've only listened to like 2 or 3 times, so there's not much about them. They're really nice, crazy, good Machine Head. Machine Head's good, people like them. Why did I do that? Whoops. I think I have so many bands, I'm just trying to go through it now, but I just haven't, like, I don't know.
Do you want to,
just read off the list.
So I just move to another one? I'm just gonna move to another one, because this one's quicker, and then, I don't know, if you guys have bands, you can take it about this, but I have, right now I have, Glass Cloud was another one I listened to, because it was a thing where actually I didn't know I've already heard of them before. When I was looking for bands, like I was on Apple Music looking for bands that were recommended off of Amir, and it actually recommended their first album, not the one that this guy, Ian's coworker, like showed me, because they have also like an EP out too. So basically, like, I was shown, oh, there's this Glass Cloud EP. I'm like, hey, this band sounds familiar. I look at it, I'm like, hey, I've seen this band before. And I listened to it. The EP, the most recent one, which is 2013, featured, like, the guitarist playing a 9-string guitar. So it's pretty much, it was in double drop A, so I'm assuming that it meant that, he could play regular drop A, but then he had an octave lower. He had another drop A, basically at like the bass frequency. Like you can actually play it on a 5-string bass if you wanted to. Wouldn't sound as good, but yeah, he did. It's off their first EP was well, after their most recent EP, which is Perfect War Forever, which is, I gotta say, one of the most beautiful cover art pieces I've ever seen from a band. Okay, my iPod is still alive. I'm gonna show these guys because they need to see how beautiful this album artwork looks.
If I can get into the spirit of video editing, I'll put something up right in front of us so you can also see it.
You can link a picture or something, but that's what it looks like.
Ooh, that actually is some very nice cover art.
I know. I wonder how much they had to pay to actually get that, because they're not like a big, huge band, and they're not really, haven't released anything in like 4 years or something.
Maybe the artists are part of some other big bands, and that kind of.
It's just like crazy. It's most people like they'll look it up, and like, but they had another. It's weird because also they have another album that came out before that, or earlier, I think, and it was weird because like in that album, in that EP, they're like a full-on screaming, heavy, crazy thing, but like in their first album, the vocalist was actually doing some really good, like clean stuff. He was singing beautifully, and it was just like more of this traditional kind of metalcore, but still pretty heavy. It was good. It's worth listening.
Nifty. Hey, Cam, did you listen to New King Gizzard?
I did not.
You did. You did not?
I did not.
Did not. Alright, well, the full album is out now. Well, I think it's been out for a week already. And it's pretty glorious, honestly. Like,
Honestly.
that was just so much fun. It's the same kind of King Gizzard fun you'd hear. The first third of the record sounds like just one long continuous song. Because thematically, I think that's what they were going for. One giant presentation of part of a story. And that theme kind of carried on with the second and third parts, but the second part felt a tiny bit more disjointed with a lot more variance throughout the 6 songs. And the third part was a lot more thematic that you'd expect out of... A lot more thematic, a lot more varied that you expect out of a regular concept album. But the whole thing was a interesting, neat concept album. Same old fun King Gizzard stuff. A little bit more on the Nodding on Infinity side than the Flying Microtonal Banana. Some people say it's not as good because of the spoken word bits that are layered throughout. And one of them is the Australian voice on the voice-to-text synthesizers. You know the one.
I believe so.
Yeah, like that's the voice they use for like the final third, whereas there's a very monotone woman that speaks at the first and second thirds of the album. Interesting stories that are being told there. I enjoyed it a lot more than Melon did, because Melon gave it like a 6. But that's his opinion, not mine. New King Gizzard's out. It's a lot of fun. Check it out if you can, and you need to listen to it.
I still haven't listened to it.
Because that last third is just really weird, and I like it. I like it a lot. Have you listened to any King Gizzard at all?
No, not at all. I just kind of keep forgetting it's something.
Listen to Nodding on Infinity this week at some point. It's a lot of fun.
I could probably try and put it on my iPod today or tomorrow or something. Maybe just check it out. Maybe not actually like have it on there, but just have it to listen to on Wi-Fi or something.
Or you can easily just listen to Paper Mache Dream Balloon, which is another suggestion by Joe Folan. I listened to it. It was nice and dreamy, kind of along the lines of the Beatles, the Beach Boys, whatnot.
It's just hard because it's just like it's not. It's like I can't really predict what I'm going to get into, and it's just like, ooh, what am I going to get myself into?
Well, I mean, if you really just want to listen to something really metally, probably would have to be like Nodding on Infinity, because it's I think that's the closest they got into metal.
That's probably the best one to start with, because I've just been a huge metal kick.
Yeah.
All I've been really listening to exclusively is metal.
Well, Cam, you didn't listen to... Oh, sorry.
The thing was, like, for a while, what I've been doing for a while has been, like, almost exclusively I've been trying to, like, as I probably said before, like, getting into, like, Mike Patton side projects and just all 3 Mongol albums. And then, like, I guess after that I decided to, like, go back into hip-hop, which is where I am now. And here's a weird thing that I found. This is actually a song that was released a while ago, but, like, I started listening to it now. Alright, so imagine Killer Mike of Run the Jewels and Big Boy of Outkast rapping over a sample of Hatsune Miku.
Hold up. What?
So, Killer Mike of Run the Jewels and Outkast, Big Boy of Outkast, rapping over a Hatsune Miku sample.
I'm intrigued.
With like the beat, it's like a trap beat and everything.
That sounds weird, but like I'm like this sounds like that's like it couldn't have happened any other way. Like that sounds right.
I mean, that sounds like
the song is called Kill Jill.
Kill Jill.
Yeah.
Is it under any specific project?
Boomiverse by Big Boy.
Boomiverse by Big Boy. Okay.
Apparently the album's pretty good.
Boomiverse by Big Boy. I'll double check that at some point because.
According to 3/4 of Dead End Hip Hop.
Dead End Hip Hop?
Yeah.
Oh right. Oh yeah, the hip hop show on YouTube, right?
Yeah. According to 3/4, like FIFA wasn't that big on it.
I've never heard of those people.
I've only heard of them in passing. One of them did a review with Anthony Fantano on the Needle Drop podcast. I think it was
Mike Seatown.
Mike Seatown, yes.
I saw a thing where apparently at some point, I think it was what Adam from Your Movie Sucks and Anthony Fantano were just hanging out one day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
They're kind of broy.
I didn't think they would hang out. Like I just felt like they wouldn't be like.
He's even interviewed Adam on the Needle Drop podcast before.
I didn't think they'd be like really good friends. They didn't seem like the kind of people to hang out.
They have a lot of similar political beliefs. A lot of the people on YouTube with those political beliefs tend to like gel well with each other. Yeah. And that's just, I've seen Adam hang out with people like Internet Comment Etiquette. I think I've seen it with Melon a few times.
I just want to see Adam just like hang out with just all of the very well-known people. Just like at some point, just have a selfie with a weird selfie with every single like.
Probably look for VidCon because I think he.
Yeah.
He's already done that with like some like famous like he's done that with a famous furry musician who once it was just like them just looking very weird together. He just always does that same very upset face in every selfie with someone. It's just fun. I just want to see him with a big wall of just like selfies with like very popular people on the internet, just his one very upset frowning face, which is his like his Year Movie Sucks like the actual like icon is frowning face.
But kind of trying to bring this back into music. Did Your Movie Sucks release his album yet?
I don't know. I actually haven't actually put any listened to any of his stuff to begin with. I should do that. I was thinking about that recently.
Yeah.
I've heard some of his stuff from like when he was showing that. Oh, this got into rock. We got this song on Rock Band. And I was like, oh, this song sounds kind of nice. I should listen to this stuff, and then never did.
I mean, not only is it on Rock Band, now Blondie's covering it for their album. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, so, yeah, that's
good.
Very good. But, so, Cam, I want to bounce back to you. Is there anything else you've been listening to that's interesting?
Well, the main other things to point out... Well, I mean, there's one thing that I can point out, even though, like, it would the thing that I have to point out would probably be best used as a segue into... Ranger.
I still have something that's very related to what you one of the bands you just mentioned earlier.
All right, well, Angus, shoot.
It's the really this has a quick mention to Mr. Bungle. So I was going through Apple Music, just looking at things because it just sometimes whenever I turn like Wi-Fi back on, it'll shoot me to the For You page just to be like, oh, check this out, because we like to not let you just immediately put on your music right now. It annoys me, but at one point it moved me onto one of those random playlists they make of things, of bands I like to download. Like I recently got it a while ago. I got a song off of System of a Down, so it like, here's a playlist of all the bands who inspired System of a Down, and I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. I never really cared to find out who inspired them. So I was looking through on the list, and a few ones down, I look over and it's immediately just like I see the album cover for that same Mr. Bungle album you just keep playing for me, and I just like see Mr. Bungle, and I'm like, Cam!
Do you remember the name of the song?
No, I don't, but like I just saw this on like, it's Cam controlling forces of the universe to put Mr. Bungle into my life again, because he keeps doing that every time I hang out with him. It's always playing me at least one Mr. Bungle song at his house.
Because it's great.
It's great. Yeah, but besides
you haven't listened to My Ass Is on Fire?
I don't know if I have. I don't know what I've listened to. And I honestly almost don't want to know what I've listened to. Because it just hurts me deep down. It eats away at my soul like water going against the beach.
I mean, you'd probably like the album California.
Yeah.
Like it still has a very wild style.
It's too hard.
It's
hard for me.
It's not like the self-titled.
But I didn't actually listen to Mr. Bungle. I just want to mention that because Cam has been playing me Mr. Bungle almost non-stop every time I go to his house. And hopefully this might stop soon since you were talking about leaving that. So I found a band off of there. I was just seeing because the first one was this one band, very intriguingly named Snot. S-N-O-T. Snot. I was like, that sounds like the band for me. So I clicked on the song, and it was a song called Snot. And it was the weirdest thing. It was kind of weird to describe. You can kind of describe it like it's like the heavy part. It's like it has the heavy parts that make System of a Down heavy, where they kind of they show that same thing, but it's like it has a hint of being fairly southern, even though it doesn't really sound like a country thing. It just like sounds kind of southern, but not really southern at the same time. And it's like they're like pretty much just like a funky new metal band. But it's weird because once you get 3 songs into their first album, which is, I'm trying to remember what the first album is called. I have a feeling the first album is just called Snot. I don't know. That'd be funny, but I should check that really quick.
There was this video that I found that was like an hour long, and it was this top 10 best new metal bands.
And top 10. That's a joke because there's probably not even enough good new metal bands to make a 10-band list.
It was weird.
For an hour.
Like
new metal's so hit or miss. You can't just have 10 good. Like they probably if it was 10, they probably thought that that Disturbed was a good band.
It was on the list.
Then it's you can't trust the list. Then like at least they're like not as bad as like what was that band that made that song Loco? I forget the name. It has Coal something like Coal Chamber.
Maybe.
Is that what it's called? I'll look it up.
I think that may be it.
Chamber. Yeah, it was Coal Chamber. Were they on the list?
No.
Good. Coal Chamber is an actual like I'll say flat out like I can enjoy like Stricken. Stricken's an okay song by Disturbed. But fucking Coal Chamber is the worst new metal band I've ever listened to. Don't ever listen to them. They're actually bad. But yeah, Snot is basically kind of like that. But it's weird because 3 songs in, they changed genre. They changed genre 3 times in this one album, and there's like 15 songs. They're all very short, usually from 4 to 2 minutes, and it's a really good album. I suggest listening to it because it's actually very fun, and especially when you get to the last song, and it's just like, what is this? And it's titled "My Balls." It has one of my favorite words of any chorus, and the lyrics for the chorus basically just go, "My balls, your chin. My balls, I want to put them on your chin." And I'm like, this is awesome. I love this song. What song has lyrics like that for the chorus? None. But it's like very intense, like drop tune kind of. Might be drop C, I don't know. But getting into that, just kind of, because I just want to get into, I have a double feature going on. Because with that, I just started listening to more System of a Down. Because of that, I was like, this is kind of interesting. I should really check them out, because I watched some early tour videos of System of a Down back from '98. Because I was just watching bands from tours from '98. It's actually funny. You really need to watch those if you haven't, because the vocalist is actually he's got these big baggy parachute pants and an actual chain going between pockets, and it's hilarious seeing how '90s they all look. And the guitarist's head's just buzz cut, and he just has the eyeliner still, and they look all so edgy together. It's funny.
They were actually number 2 on the list.
Well, of course, they were really good. I guess they technically count as a new metal band because they're just so weird. I guess I'll like if someone says, "Hey, they're new metal," I'll go with it. But yeah, I listened to their self-titled album, which isn't that their first?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just I loved it. I loved that album. It was great. The songs were very angry, like and aggressive and vulgar. And it was just like that had that raw energy of them just being like putting out their first like album. Like it was beautiful. The only thing which is weird about it is just that it sounded more like a collection of songs than an actual like album that fit together. But the problem, then I skipped over some albums. I haven't listened to all of them. I'm going to do that for this next week. But next after that, I listened to Toxicity.
That's
because
good.
like you have to listen to that album because that was the one with. Yeah, with Chop Suey on it, which was still a song I find kind of odd because I like the song, but then it's like the choruses were always weird. The chorus is always weird to me. It's just like this sounds weird for System of a Down. I mean, I can understand.
True, but like
it's still.
But those vocal harmonies.
Oh yeah, it is beautiful. The harmonies.
Don't get me
I
wrong.
love their guitarist, like when he puts on second, like when he sings with them and they harmonize together. Because the guitarist is such. He's one of those guitarists when all these bands have this one guitarist who sings better than the vocalist does, but yet he only just harmonizes, and it's just somehow you're just okay with it. Like I love when you get to the end of like. Cause I also listened to Mesmerize was the one with the album that was with the. I gotta check it out. What are you doing Apple Music?
BYOB.
Yeah, that was the.
Yeah, that was Mesmerize.
So that was Mesmerize because they also had the thing. Oh, it was Hypnotize the other thing. I was trying not to mix it up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mesmerize. I listened to that too. And like hearing on the end of BYOB of just hearing the second choruses where the guitarist jumps in, it's just like so beautiful. It sings like an angel. It just and but yeah, actually, Toxicity was pretty good. I'd say pretty much just like on the same level of their self-titled one. And then I'll kind of cut this up really quick, but Mesmerize, I didn't like it. After halfway through the album, I just hated it because it wasn't aggressive. It was very chill and just being weird, but not actually like saying anything funny. It was just like I didn't like it. Like when they started getting the last song too, I was like, when is this album gonna be over already? And then I immediately removed it off my music to put on better stuff. So yeah, I still have to listen to the rest of their things, but I might finish that up next week if I listen to all their albums. But yeah, that's enough of probably me talking for a bit.
Alright. Cam, do you want to throw that one band at us and segue us into our review of Ranger?
Yeah, the reason that this would be a segue into Ranger is because the band I'm talking about is Robin Wood.
Oh, I've seen them pop up a few times.
Yeah. Robin Wood is the solo project of Thomas O'Malley.
Oh really? I didn't know he had a solo project.
Yeah. He
I used to listen to
he released an EP called Viva Yo, which is pretty great. And actually, the title track Viva Yo, sounds like a song that would be on Ranger. See, the whole idea is that like Viva Yo and Ranger, they're like, well, Robin Wood and Tim the Lights, they're kind of doing very similar things, mainly because they have the same frontman. It's the same guy. It's just two different approaches, because Dim the Lights is more on the heavier metal side, whereas a lot of those softer, more emotional parts is where is the direction that Robin Wood goes in.
Mm-hmm. Alright, that's pretty neat. I guess that's all I really got to say about it.
They actually released a new music video recently, and that was pretty great. Yeah,
Well, what was that one song that you posted in that one thread? The guy asking for like really sad emo music and not move the
I think that was just a link to Ranger.
Just a link.
No. It was to that. It was to Viva Yo.
To Viva Yo?
Yeah, it was just to.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Oh, implying we can discuss music, where Cam and I got the name Not Move from a while ago.
But yeah, I just posted this EP. Here it is, Viva Yo.
Viva Yo, Robin Wood. I'll have to double check that, because with like my kind of jump into post-punk music in the last couple weeks, I've been definitely getting into a lot of weird sad rock, so I have to check that out. But I guess with that we should jump into a review of
the one and only album for sadcore, which is now what we're calling it. If we didn't get that recorded of me calling this sadcore, they should put that as a tag under the genre under the album. It should be like it is like they do put sad like sad is under. If you scroll down, it actually does say sad down there or sad, but like it should be sadcore.
Let's see, emotive hardcore punk Boston. So they have emotive hardcore.
There was something that said sad down there. It was, or like there was a description. Oh no, it's a description that says they're a sad metal band. I think so.
That's
or something like that. There's part of
sad heavy music from Dedham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like they should be sadcore, like how regime is chugcore. They're sadcore.
Those make sense.
It makes sense to me.
Well, regime is chugcore. You can't even know. Even
You
though,
can't
because
deny
Nathan,
it.
because actually I think Nathan called them a chugcore band. I was like, thank you, Nathan. You're my hero.
It makes sense. Just as this being sadcore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so diving headfirst into this review,
Not even a
Ranger
small guy.
is the 2015 album by local hardcore metal band Dim the Lights.
Sadcore.
Yeah,
Sadcore.
the debut full-length album.
Mm-hmm.
There was an EP released before this that was self-titled.
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
an EP.
Well, not before, because there was a single right before this. Then there was an EP before this, I think.
And didn't...
Because there was the single, and then there was an EP that was... Yeah, because Waste was before this.
Well, Waste was after this, because Waste
Yeah.
is 2016.
Oh, wasn't there something before this? Or was it just
The
that one that
self-titled
had,
EP?
Really?
There, yeah, We Know single.
Oh, We Know was...
More releases. They also got the Dim the Lights EP from 2014.
And then they had and then that... Oh, yeah, so I was right. Okay. I am right.
To an extent.
Suck it.
Well, I mean, a single off this album. I'm just gonna consider it a song off this album.
No, but it's still a single. There's still a single that was released before this. It does count. Oh, you're just waiting for the drop?
I'm sorry.
See, remember, we're an audio podcast and no one can see that but us.
Yeah, true.
And then the only
I did a headbang when he yelled,
Yeah,
I fucking hate myself.
Very intense, but like overly intense. He could have hurt his neck. What are you thinking?
You gotta do it with the technique. You gotta bring your body with it.
You gotta you gotta throw it into someone's face and break their nose.
Please
Preferably
don't.
his
Yeah.
nose. Oh yeah, I like how he says please don't, because we know we're gonna break his nose. We're gonna break Ian's nose before mine because I don't know. I like my nose.
See, this would be a testament to the fact that Ranger is powerful.
Oh yeah, no, we saw them live and I got the absolute shit kicked out of me.
Yeah, I was
And,
there.
Like you wouldn't think like this band is not this band's not that heavy. Like I've heard heavier, but like live, they're absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
and people actually got hurt, and it was great.
My body was sore for a few days after that.
I was I was in a lot of pain for a while, and yeah, and we made a mom very concerned.
Yes.
We had a very intense pit because there was a show was it the weekend we were supposed to record this episode, and which was going to be very convenient, and so they headlined, and there was a very big violent pit where everyone was throwing kicks, throwing elbows and kicking everyone, and I kicked some people, I got punched by people, and a mom at the very end of it was like, I don't want to see that here again. We all started laughing like, yeah, like you're gonna stop us. Because you can't just tell people, hey, no moshing, because it happens anyway. You can't stop it.
You can't stop the mosh.
No, can't stop rocking me.
Can't stop the rock. Can't stop the rock.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
We'll only talk about waste cooking.
if it is going to be stopped, it would have to be like if like the band themselves are just like, hey, stop it, and that's really dependent on whether or not the people there like give a shit.
One woman was very concerned, but it's like we're all still having fun. No one got seriously injured, thankfully. So I mean, people don't usually get seriously injured. Sometimes there are some cracked ribs. I love this song. Yeah. So yeah, we should probably like, I don't know, should we go to just wrap up that little quick mention of that we saw them live and it was absolutely fucking awesome?
Yeah, let's wrap up that mention real quick. So
we'll get to the album. It's already song 2.
So yeah, Ranger, Dim the Lights, thoughts, best tracks, worst tracks, overall opinions. Start off with Angus.
Okay, alright. Yeah, I've been talking so much. Alright, I'll do it anyway. I absolutely love this album. I guess it's right to start off with me because I've had this on my iPod for like almost like a year. No, like just like a third of a year. Just like I've been listening to it for quite a while because I've saw them this band a while back because I know their other project for most of the other members, which is the Caps. So I love going to their shows and so they kind of ended up playing some of the members of this band had a graduation party, and I just ended up going somehow. I don't remember who took me, but this band headlined and they didn't really have Ranger out yet, and it was this was like a year before Ranger, I think. And then and they were beautiful, and they played this actual song there. It's the only song I remember them playing there, but it was great. And so I remember hearing, oh, Ranger's out, so I just grabbed it, and it's fucking, amazing album. Favorite songs have to be We Know, Melt, and Ranger. Because Melt is my and Ranger are like my top 2, like, oh, I fucking love them. Because they have some of the best like sound to them, especially with like the chords they use, and it just sounds so smooth and spacey and just like it's like these aren't just regular bar chords, these are like crazy fucking these kind of chords.
Oh, Melt.
Yeah, Melt is fucking beautiful. It's like everyone's favorite song because it's just like, especially I feel like it's just that thing where like they do that like the verse riff and it just like has that like that riff that just kind of like goes down to that lower string. You just get that like little bit that heavy string. It's just so weird because they actually, just to mention, they play, both the guitarists play like Fender Stratocasters, which is weird for metal because they're like those are actually I think they have the ones that have the I think they have the ones that have like the one humbucker at the bottom at the bridge pickup, so it's okay, but like actually it's surprisingly good for a band that has two Telecasters, 2 Fender Telecasters. It's funny, but yeah, this is a best.
Yeah, doesn't Tom do bass then?
What? No.
Oh,
No,
Andrew does bass,
Andrew
right?
does bass.
okay, all right.
Which was weird. I thought Tom did bass too. And
I thought it was like almost like an exact like just taking the
I know.
caps and replacing game.
It'd be hilarious, like if it was. But like it almost is.
It, like, almost-
at least he still takes over vocals and still writes and leads the songs.
Yeah.
So weird. You know, I don't know if I have a least favorite song. I'd say like maybe Josh Groban's my least favorite, but it's more of a silly track.
Yeah, like the thing is, like most of like this album, entirely is of course it's very serious, it's very emotional, except for Josh Groban as a nanobot.
But I kind of love that Josh Groban as a nanobot is in there because it's just a testament to like, hey, we're a super serious band, but sometimes we can have some goofy stuff, and we're putting it on a super serious release.
And like the the sound of it's pretty fun. It sounds like a throwback kind of metal sound to it.
Yeah, it does. But it also sounds surprisingly heavy for like a silly song, especially where like they have this part where like where Ethan's, I think he's like doing these weird like half steppy kind of like do do do, and then he's like do do do, and it's just like these half steps going on, just making it like this real crazy like everyone could die breakdown. And they played this live, and we all attacked each other.
We all died
to that song, and it was actually kind of funny. Like we're actually like beating each other up to this silly song.
That's what they wanted.
The one thing I hated, they didn't play Melt, did they? They actually didn't play that song live. They played Ranger, but they didn't play Melt, and I was like, what? What's your reason? I mean, it is kind of weird because Melt isn't a very like a throwdowny kind of song. It's very just kind of fast and going through it. But,
So, Cam, favorite tracks and any thoughts that you think that Angus didn't cover?
Well, I mean, I already said Melt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so tired. You know?
I am too.
Like,
I think that makes the three of us.
you know,
Actually, I'm
it's
not
just,
very
you know,
tired,
Melt, I'm just so tired. He already said, you know, We Know and Ranger. You know,
Oh, yeah,
I'm already
Well,
repeating Melt.
I've just you could take Ranger because I've just put like Melts and I mean you can put We Know and yeah, I did take Melt and Ranger.
Well, yeah, well, we know, of course.
It's
And,
good,
like,
but I think I like.
Well, I'm
the
also
other
hitting
one
like the other areas too.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so tired and Seat.
better. I've never been a big fan. I like Seed, but I'm not like it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I like this part where he's just actually just like yelling, just like full on.
Yeah, so especially because like since the song itself is so laid back, and you're listening to him scream like that, you can hear him like it's not like a perfect scream, so
Yeah.
it works.
It's just like him genuinely like it's not like an actual like metal scream. It's him just generally yelling.
Yeah.
Which is always weird. I always like hate how they're both called scream and like one of them is like a more legitimate scream, one of them is just like distorting her vocals.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like
Except
they're
some
both screaming.
Yeah, but
It's
different in
yeah.
a sense, but yeah.
But
Yeah, no. I like how like the vocals on oh yeah, and this.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is very nice.
They do really good songwriting. Just,
You know, I noticed that the guitar was mixed like really high. Like the guitar on this felt loud.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of focus on making the guitar sound very loud in the mix. But yeah, like the guitar sometimes a little bit overpowers some of the vocals here and there.
I don't really notice it. I just noticed that I probably didn't really hear much bass, even though there was so much like already cool sounding stuff with the guitars and drums and vocals going on that you kind of really don't look for. Like this was an album I kind of really didn't have to look for anything more crazy stuff because it was already good on the surface level.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I listen to other bands where it's just like, oh, the bass has something interesting, probably more interesting than guitars. I'll listen to the bass, but this time I don't really. You can probably like feel the bass, but not really like stay up hear it. My favorite song. I know, I like it. But yeah, I was just kind of thinking about it. There's also, I should probably mention that We Know actually I put take it off of my favorites because like, actually, it's not actually like. It's like not the most favorite. Just I still actually it's the one song. Even though I love it, I have genuine complaints. Like it had a weird transition from like the beginning into the actual like chorus, like the like a breath of the chorus. That was a very weird transition.
I know what you mean.
But it's an older song, and you can understand when you're older songs for a band can have harsh transitions when you're still getting into it. But like, and that was also a weird part where it's like it's that first like beginning of the slow thing. It just sounds like. It's like the bass, the harmony between the bass and the guitar kind of slow down slightly, which is weird. Like the tempo slows and then catches back up. Just like, but it's still good. Yeah, I guess you do hear the bass with that one.
You just gotta like really listen for that bass noodling.
You don't usually need to. It's just very. It's still a lot going on in the front of the guitars. Like that riff.
Yeah, and you got vocals being shared by Tom O'Malley and Andrew Marr.
I always kind of forget that, and you don't really like notice that almost because they sound very similar.
True.
Which is kind of hard, because it's just like you forget that like Andrew is the one who actually primarily does the screams.
Which I mean, it makes sense because in my personal opinion, like they're both like extremely talented vocalists.
Oh, yeah, they're both
but like I personally feel like when it comes to screaming, that like Andrew just sounds better, and you can definitely tell that if you listen to Robin Wood's Viva Yo, because it's actually Andrew and Tom sharing vocals on that song too. You have the first verse, which is all the screaming is done by Andrew, and then any vocals that come in behind it is Tom. And then they switch roles and do the same thing on the second verse. So you can like easily tell the difference there.
But it's also kind of funny. They both have very similar singing voice because they're both like kind of first tenors, I'd say. So they're like they both like sound very alike, which is kind of weird. So which could make people think if they've never seen them live, think, oh, they have one vocalist who does both the singing and the screams, but no, they're actually two vocalists. It's very similar. Which I've heard that with another band that was from like Virginia too, which kind of throws you off when two vocalists.
Yes. Mind if I divulge my thoughts?
Oh yeah, you should talk. I've talked more than you.
First, off the top, fucking weather sound. It sounds nice. Sounds very nice, and I'm just so tired. The rain cutting in. Some bands can hit, some bands can miss. I just appreciate that they did that so well for probably...
Yeah, they got it as a local band. Like, I don't even know if they even recorded this at an actual local studio or not, but it's just like... Yeah, the quality is so great for a local band.
Like, it's a very nice mastering quality. Like, much better than what, was it Moondog that Scatter My Ashes got the,
Oh yeah. But Moondog also did Empty.
Yeah, so...
it was just, I guess we just got, like, shafted on for the Scatter My Ashes one. Even though, again, it was also a fault of people having shitty equipment and, some of the members being shitty.
Very true.
We're gonna talk about the train wreck that is Scatter My Ashes. Rip in peace.
I mean, apparently they're playing our show, so I guess
Yeah.
they're confident enough to go forward, so I gotta give them props for that.
Well, I'd hate to see, like, especially with the bassist they probably replaced me with.
Moments like this on the record, though, this little bit here, blows my fucking mind. Like, Andrew and all those other guys, it definitely shows that they've, like, have a lot of experience in music and are, like, really dedicated to it.
Yeah, they put, like, this is, like, I haven't seen this much, like, crazy songwriting from, like, local bands. No one, like, puts that much emphasis into, like, strange chords and this, like, actual, like, sound. Just like very spaced and smooth, and it's nice.
Like, it just makes me even more excited for their eventual next release. Not only that, but just with the knowledge of, like, those guys are music nerds, they're music students, they're like going well into all their stuff.
Yeah,
you have something to contribute, Kim? No? Alright.
I'm just trying to. Oh wait, yeah. Well, actually, I'm trying to. No, only Derek for them is an actual music major.
Well, I think isn't Andrew in like SRT or something like that?
Maybe. I haven't really heard much about him from what he's doing.
Well, I can check with Kevin.
Because I met him like a while after I already knew everyone else. Because he always missed so many of the barn shows.
Yeah.
Like he actually the first like 3 or 4 performances from the Caps were done without Andrew because he just couldn't. He was too busy. Then so like I actually didn't even know he was part of the band until like almost like a year after they started playing around here.
Yeah.
They're gonna be releasing an EP soon.
Well, yeah, they've been planning it. Didn't they originally plan for like a May release of like their that EP?
It is hard.
Maybe they're gonna have it at some point because I mean they were just planning it during final season, and like final season they probably got extremely busy.
Oh yeah, they're so busy that that band just barely writes any of its own original. Like, cause that was the whole premise of the band was like, we don't have the time to write our own original songs. We did back when we started, but now we're just gonna learn covers because we can't really get together too much. They were talking about that because I talked with them so much after they play. They tell me the whole story of the band because I'm an honorary member.
Yes, you are.
Which is funny because I think I'm now an honorary member of Dim the Lights now, because not only for like, because there was one time the Caps were playing in our town, and the mic stand broke, and it was kept falling down, and so I actually was up in front of the vocalist, and he's like, and I held the mic stand for him during a whole song until he could fix it. And same thing goes for Dim the Lights, where there was feedback coming from Tom's mic, so he took it out of the stand. He just told me hold this, and just had me hold it in front of his face. I was just sitting there like, well, I did this for 2 bands now. and yeah,
you're the mic stand for the bands.
Well, I was a mic. I've already upgraded from mic stand to for the other for the Caps because I've sung for them.
Right, yeah, that one photo.
No, I sung for them 3 times already.
Oh, 3 times.
I sung for them. They were like, I think it was like one of their first, like it was like one of their like the second or third performance down at the barn. It was one they headlined, and they were not a very popular headline band, so nobody really stayed for them. And so, which is kind of weird to think that there was a time when people didn't stay to see the Caps. It's funny, everyone stays to see the Caps. If you the Caps headline, they stay. But so yeah, they were doing the cover of Astro Zombies by the Misfits, and their guitarist Ethan didn't know all the words, and I did. He just had people hold me up and made me do it for them, and that was the first time, and no one saw that. And then I did it. I did a second time at our house for that same song, and then I did that for Kevco with the basses. Yeah, I've had so many times those songs for them. I just know all the words to all their songs.
But yeah, so going on to general overview, very nice album. This thing has like a lot of personality behind it, where it's pretty unique in the local scene, considering like I haven't heard of really many other like hardcore metal bands like this in the area. I mean, I may just be very unknowledgeable of it, and I may have missed like a shitload of them under the surface.
There's a lot of like other bands, but they're just like not around here. Like there's a few other bands I'm starting to hear more from just going to the 3065, which is something you should probably start doing more to find more local bands. Like I recently found another band that was actually need to start listening to again, like Cold Days. Like we need to start going to the 3065. They're actually good for local bands.
Yeah, I just have to make the time for it, because
it actually has those local bands that have like physical CD copies you can buy and start reviewing shit. Like, and that's like a good stuff to go to, because they actually have their own releases. Because most bands who go play there have their releases, have merch, have everything.
Yeah, but I guess beautiful sound, very defined.
I like the little thematic elements. Like for example, the fact that this lyric was originally in Seat.
Oh yeah,
They this album is very self-referential. Like there's a lot of callbacks in songs. There's a lot of call forwards. Everything really ties together in a neat little package that makes it seem like it's very conceptual of an album, and it just goes to show like the writing quality that went into this.
I'd say this was a very weird part into the breakdown, which is strange, but it fit for them. And still, like live when you hear it, it's still like it heavy as fuck. But like,
yeah.
So like weird hearing it now, just like, huh.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I already finished that.
All right, but let's say favorite tracks on there. Honestly, have to be Josh Grobanus and Nanobot, mainly because it's a silly song. We don't hear those enough. I love them, and they squeeze it into the right spot in an extremely serious record, and it makes me happy.
It would have been bad if they put it anywhere else.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just like, it is very like odd. It's hard to like just start playing this and then suddenly, the silly song comes on. It's just like, okay, this is gonna confuse people.
Yeah. I like the mixing there too, just like guitar on one side, guitar on the other side. Just the trade-off is like, I love it when bands do that, the little trade-off.
They did really do it, especially. I also had to notice. I was talking before we started recording about like how they have this like very fast part like they're doing here, but they had that at the beginning of Ranger, which I fucking love that part. I hope they do more with songs like that. Like especially like in their next release, like if they have a full dedicated like fast song, like that'd be fucking beautiful. They can pull it off because
Yeah. So another favorite is Thanatopsis, mainly because it's a very grand, very almost feels like gothic in nature,
just
and I'm kind of a sucker for gothic metal stuff like that.
Yeah, I just like that bit. Really, like it's kind of forgettable almost. Like you can kind of forget, like especially with a lot of the more popular songs before it. But like still, when you hear it, you're like, damn, it's like this big like grand finale ending to it, and it's just like It's just like all of the elements that you've heard before in the album, just like into this one last song that fits like everything. They have breakdowns, they have clean sections, they have singing, and it's just like
a grand finale to everything.
It's a perfect end to the album.
Like, not only that, but like just I love the vocal melodies the most, and like the use of the themes here.
I also like how they layered the vocals during the choruses. If you listen closely, it's like he's the vocalist is singing like, well, actually I don't know if Andrew and them singing together or not, but like you just hear one vocal, like one person singing in like the like the third octave, and someone's singing like the same note in the fourth octave, even though they're one of them's a little bit flat, but it still like works.
Yeah, like that vocal melody later on really kills it. This entire song just kind of harkens to a lot of what I love about like kind of the slower, grander gothic metal, especially just with like the themes and the drawing on of like complex topics. I mean, being very wordy, I love very verbose. They didn't want to be simple with it, and I guess I can appreciate that in a kind of really pretentious way.
Yeah. I think we also need to just give give a hand to fucking Derek for doing some of like the best drumming for this whole like thing.
Yeah.
Like
Derek is just an incredibly talented drummer.
Yeah, no one could have because he knows like as a person who learns music theory, in traditional music, the drums are not the ones to hold the beat, it's the bass, and the drums are an accompaniment, and that's what Derek treats it as to the albums. He treats it as this like accompaniment to like help the emotion. If it's supposed to be more quiet and simple, or more fast and aggressive, or just very big, showy with cymbals and everything, like he hits it perfectly.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen one drummer just as good as Derek, and that was the drummer for Daisy Bones. But like the drumming throughout this album, like we have not touched on it at all, like was wonderful.
It's fucking beautiful, man. And I love especially some of the beats you do if you like listen to the song. He just like does these weird these weird those weird fast things you do with like the toms and the snare. And just like you don't notice it. But yeah, he uses the entire kit. Like if you see him play live for any band he's in, like which you really should have seen Hot Brown, because he did amazing drumming for Hot Brown.
Hot Brown was sick.
It was one of it had the biggest crowd for all the bands, and you went off to go do something else.
I had to get food. I hadn't eaten yet.
I skipped dinner to stay for the whole thing.
I didn't expect that like Hot Brown would be. I should have probably skipped the first guy. No offense to him, but he was probably like the weak link.
Yeah, he was. It was like there was a point like the last song. If he did one more song after that, I would have walked out to do something else to wait for him because he was getting on my nerves a little bit.
I mean, he had like a good project though.
Yeah, it's something interesting. It's just listening to him, it felt like a cross between listening to Brian Huntress and listening to Bob Dylan, but not in a way that is like interesting or endearing. Yeah. It was just in a way that made me want to actually go listen to Brian Huntress or Bob Dylan instead.
It's just like I don't know. Like I didn't like the fact that he yelled. This guy yelled, but like it wasn't even in key, and it just like started to bother me. And it's just like, and his yelling didn't even sound nice. Like I've heard people who yell and it sounds great. Oh yeah, like fucking Tom, when he yells something it sounds good, but when this guy did it was
so, forgive me, but I love this waltzy bit where they like go to 3/4.
It could have been 3/8, shut up, or 8 or 6 or 6/8.
I don't know my time signatures all
They're
that
all
well.
basically the same. Anything like 3, 6, and 9 are all basically the same. They all sound like you can only tell. I think 6 and 9 are the ones that are different because you can tell when it's 9 because it sounds a little strange. But like they all sound the same. It's super funny. Like 3, 4, and 6, 8 are basically the same exact time signature.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
But yeah, so final thoughts on Ranger? Go fucking listen to it. I'm giving it 13 nanobots.
Get it, and I'd suggest even like not just downloading it for free, but at least either listening to on Apple Music so they at least get something, or throw the money on Bandcamp. Like it's on Bandcamp. Throw them a few bucks for the album because it's worth it. They put like their heart and soul into this shit, and it's good. They're great guys. I know, right? I love these guys.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you want to buy it, really, look in the description for a link to the Bandcamp to buy it. Please do, because they're a band that deserves the best. I'd love to hear more of these guys, and every penny you throw at them helps, and it also helps for like their music education too.
They deserve your money.
just like that song, just like just like for pennies a day, you can fund this band to become not just local.
But yeah, so beautiful record. And I think that concludes our review as Thanatopsis starts coming to a close.
Yeah, it works.
Alright, bye guys.
But we still have more time.
Oh, we do? Okay.
We have a little. If you guys
we have
want,
the news at the end of all
which
this.
is mostly just releases that'll eventually be coming.
Or I do have something to announce of a release that did just happen a few weeks ago.
Is it like a local release?
Oh no, it was the big release.
The big release?
It was for the
Well, I mean, like, we're just talking, like, the...
Yeah. Well,
local, big, it doesn't matter.
I still have to mention that, like, the new Dying Fetus album came out. I forgot to say that.
Oh.
It already came out in full. It was just on my iPod. I was like, oh yeah, this was coming out. I think actually a few albums probably of the ones I was talking about, like the one from Ed Guy probably also came out because they were all coming out a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually fully listened to them yet.
Like, June 23rd was a big day for music because, I mean, not only did King Gizzard drop, but we had a new Vince Staples record. Did you end up even checking that out anyway?
I had not.
All right, well, it was a fair amount of fun. It wasn't, like, perfect.
Oh yeah, you played this one, didn't you?
But yeah, this is... Oh yeah, this is, professional. But yeah,
I forgot you played this for
take a look at that album artwork.
Yeah.
Isn't that George Costanza?
Yeah, George Costanza. I think that's Jerry Seinfeld with the big glasses on. And something there.
Jerry's got jokes.
Help wanted.
I like
Thanks.
this. I love that album artwork. It's just so funny.
But yeah, these guys I actually discovered a little while ago. They really, when I was looking for stuff to play during the podcast when we originally planned it, but never got around to it. But yeah, these guys
won't get copyright striked.
Yeah, I think that was because, like, as a jazz musician who dual releases on Apple Music and Bandcamp, like, he had his music there for people, like, for, like, automatic checks. That was just an unfortunate timing, but I don't even think we're even going to end up monetizing for a long time.
Oh, no, we're not going.
Because, I mean, that requires, like, 10K views, and...
Yeah, it requires... Because I don't even know how many views we get normally.
I mean, the highest viewed one, I think, right now is, the Justin Arena episode, the very first one. I think that has like 30, 40 views right now.
That's not... Yeah, I've seen worse on YouTube. We're actually doing okay.
Yeah, we're doing
YouTube's hard to get on to if you're like new.
Yeah, I mean, you have to like have someone promote you or like get hit the right algorithms.
Yeah, so you also need to like start making separate pages sometimes.
Yeah.
To promote.
But so a little bit off track. Let's talk about some of the shows that are going to be coming up soon. So, tomorrow in Merrimack, New Hampshire, we got Tom Shubda playing... What's the event? I didn't look at that again. I think he's playing with an American Idol finalist.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that's that. We've got... The caps are of like 3 shows from... They're playing the Stoughton 4th of July... the parade, I think, right in Stoughton. We've got them playing at the Dedham Endicott Estate on the 5th, and then Quincy and Maggie's Lounge on the 7th.
We need to go to that one.
I mean, what's the...
When is the 7th?
The 7th? That is Friday.
Really?
I am probably busy working
I
that
could
day.
probably get it. I could try and get it.
But yeah.
Then it's going to end late. Nah.
But yeah, so Amanda McCarthy is actually playing at Foodie's Tavern in Nashua on the 8th, if you want to get more Amanda McCarthy goodness. Really big show that I'm really looking forward to. We should try and make it in pilgrimage too. Justin Arena, the Sound Bandits, and Fordham Road are playing at Out of the Blue too in Cambridge.
Yeah, and there's Revolutionaries.
Revolutionaries on that too?
It's some other band that I hadn't heard of.
Oh, alright.
And that's good news for me, because that means I'll be introduced to a new band as well as seeing a bunch of bands that I already love.
Sweet.
Woo!
And following up on the Fordham Road train, they're playing July 27th. What was that show? I did not write down where they were playing.
Yeah, I said that one to Ian. When I saw that one for the Out of Blue, I'm like, we have to go to this one because this sounds awesome. I mean, like, I do need to just really give Justin one more chance for again, like, give him a try since he actually seems to cool with me. But I just saw like Sound Bandits too, and I was like, okay, this is what we have to go to this one.
Yeah, the 27th show with the Fordham Road is at someplace So, it's listed as Barn Show featuring Fordham Road in Braintree, Massachusetts. So,
Oh yeah, the Braintree Barn.
Braintree Barn? Where's that?
It's usually referred to as Double Rainbow Studios. I can't remember exactly what the address is, but
Alright, well,
I played
When
there.
is that? Are we gonna go there?
I mean, we can try. That's a Thursday the 27th. I don't think it's been scheduled out just yet, but I may have a show at the Music Circus and I have to work that day. I think so. I can't remember exactly my schedule.
Well, Braintree's pretty close. I can probably try to get someone to help me.
Yeah.
Go grab me for that too.
I mean, most likely we can probably get a ride with like Joe or maybe someone else coming up from here to see them. Who knows?
Oh, sweet. Well, yeah, Joe lives in
Braintree, so
he lives in Braintree.
you see, we've also got
So it was at his house for that grad party, which was awesome.
but a little bit going back in time. So Daisy Bones, July the 7th, they're playing at Wayward Soul in New York, New York. I think they also have a show sometime soon in Vermont, or that may have just passed. I can't remember.
Yeah, they just have a whole tour going on.
Yeah, Daisy Bones has a whole tour going on. I talked about the tour kickoff back on the last episode. That was a lot of fun to go to. Like, Cam, you should have been there. It was a whole lot of fun. We were all cramped into the basement of like Inclusion Records. It was some fun. They played a lot of new stuff. I think a few songs they didn't even play at the benefit show.
Yeah, you know, they did play a lot of new songs at the benefit show though. The problem was that with a lot of the new songs, they all just sounded like Jerusalem.
They kind of did, yeah.
Like specifically Jerusalem.
But alright, yeah, so that is right. But I mean,
They also played Jerusalem.
they did play Jerusalem. They played a lot of their really fun hits when they were playing at Inclusion Records. What was... Shoot. There was one really good song.
I had not listened to them until that benefit show. And
You
so
should-
I was like,
it's
wow.
on Apple Music. Listen to it. Gusto.
Yeah, Gusto was great.
We both loved it.
Yeah.
It's like kind of just very, very good sounding garage rock with the neat kind of pop punky edge that doesn't suck.
Yeah. I mean, no, like garage, kind of like that, yeah, garage punk rock, and pump mixture thing always goes good. That's usually how it goes.
Their motto is essentially, if it's not indie, get it out of here.
Nice. But yeah, so, and we also have, at the very bottom of the list, Geff is actually playing, you know, the jazz metal band that we listened to a while ago. August 18th at, let's see, Garcia's in Port Chester, New York. So if you're ever making a way out of New York to see them, I mean, definitely do see them because...
If you're in New York and listening to this, like, comment, subscribe.
Yes. But, yeah, so I think a bunch of people can attest for them, including Joe Folan, that they are a very interesting band, very proggy, a lot of fun. And so then that is the end of our upcoming shows lists. Let me just pop to like upcoming releases list. I don't think it really even changed. There was no releases since, but there has been additions.
I need to actually get this on my iPod.
Get one.
This kind of makes me miss Mr. Furious. I wish that band was still a thing.
I mean, is it Furiosus?
Nope.
No, they stopped.
They stopped too, and that's why
Nick is
Nick
in
went
Boxer's
to
Jaw.
Boxer's
Alright,
Jaw because
that makes sense.
they both fell apart, and I mean,
Oh, that blows.
I mean, don't worry, they were so good. Like, there's not enough ska bands, ska punk bands.
So, upcoming local releases, we've got Spidera, Fordham Road, we got more Boxer's Job, we got Justin Arena, the Caps, and Dimbalites, all having announced something, but not really kind of telling us when. So, that's something to look
Also,
forward to.
There's another band that I love. They're like a local band from Virginia. They played at the. We played a show with them at when I was in Scatter in my Ashes. We played a show with them in at the 3065. They're called oh sorry. They're called oh wow! I just blanked out immediately when I was gonna say. What the heck? What was their name? Oh, Set for Tomorrow. That's what they're. they're talking about writing new stuff. They're in the studio, I think, recording things. So wait to see when they would say something's gonna come out too, because they're a really good band.
Yeah.
I know of an album that's pretty much done.
Almost there, man?
Pretty much. All right, so the album is essentially done. I just need there's one thing that I just need to do in order for it to be done. I've been trying to work out getting a particular feature on there, and I have not been able to. So So once I get that spot figured out and that's done, then the album's done.
I'm glad you're finally getting it done. I'm sorry you probably felt a lot of stress getting it done.
I did it.
Good.
It sounds really good too.
Awesome.
The vocal production sounds so much better. Oh my god.
Is it? How could you describe it as compared to City of Ghosts? No, City of Ghosts is what's coming out. I'm sorry. How could you compare it to your EP divided by 0?
Better.
Just better?
Cleaner.
Clear. Alright. Alright, awesome. I mean, I'm glad to see it all finally come to fruition, my friend.
But then like, you can start having new things to start telling me about coming in the works, because you always tell me of everything that's in the works, like even like before you're even starting to record for it.
Yeah.
I like how there was a point when I go to the church and every time you'd start talking about all the albums that you had planned out and all the releases.
Yeah, I know.
Almost down to the day when you would release them, because you just think about that too much in your spare time.
That's what I used to do.
But yeah, so maybe an Amanda McCarthy release, because she's been talking about she wanted to have something soon. Mostly stories mentioned that when I was talking to them that they have something planned for after this EP, so maybe something this summer.
Maybe I could release something if I finally get that the sound set up.
Yeah.
Sometime this month or next month, because I'm gonna have the money now.
We're hoping that
I should just start looking at mics and then maybe start ordering some used like instrument mics offline.
Yeah. And maybe we can just go ahead and buy that mixer, and I can pay you like the $50 down the line, so that we can like have joint ownership.
Okay. We get that.
I'm looking at an Alexis audio mixer for
We had the $100 one.
Yeah. It's one
Does that one have phantom power?
I think so.
Okay. I have to make sure that's phantom power, because then because eventually we're gonna have to, once we have to do instruments, we want to do condensers.
Alright.
For voice stuff.
We can always double check on that. Let's see. Also announced is Dreaming Insomniacs has their live album coming this Friday.
Oh yeah, I need to check it out, because they're actually like most recent thing, because that was the guy. What's his name? That guy who did the
Joe Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Mo.
Because it was weird, because he sent me the most recent one they did, and it actually sounded good, which is weird, because a lot of their stuff was like back then.
With their 2016 album?
I think it was a 2016 album. It was actually good, and I was like, hey guys, actually stop making fun of this guy, because he actually put out something good. People, like, there's a lot of people out there who hate him for just because of that performance he did, where he just did a bunch of weird Green Day covers, and nobody liked him for that.
Wait, was he the guy who did the acoustic cover of Never Gonna Give You Up?
No.
And he wasn't at that benefit show.
No.
That wasn't the benefit show.
No, he wasn't. The last show he played was our backyard.
Huh.
He did the open mic and opened up with a bunch of Green Day covers.
I mean, depending on what they are, is not the worst.
It was just like, he was a very strange person. It was hard to kind of talk to him and be around him. But now he's chilled out and he's cool and stuff. I guess he was just younger than everyone too.
But yeah, so we got a live album coming out this Friday, which I guess will be our next reviewed record, because I mean, well, hey, that's perfect timing.
Sure.
And they also have a new album coming at the start of August. I don't know if they've announced the name or anything or all the details yet, but keep an eye out for that release. Now, do you guys have any releases that aren't local that you're looking forward to, or releases that are local that you're looking forward to?
I have nothing except for just waiting for that album from Wage War. After that, I'm not waiting for anything else. Got nothing to look forward to.
Not really, no.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, like, it really, like, there wasn't anything much to look forward to in the way of, like, releases ever since, like, my two big albums came out at the end of June.
Yeah, like, there was not... June was great, and now July is kind of kind of looking empty until these local bands start announcing dates. I'm waiting for it. It's getting so hard where so many bands are just like, we're in the studio, but we don't have a date projected yet.
Yeah.
Thanks. That doesn't help me when like 7 bands have already have recorded songs and just don't have a date. It's just come on, please.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do like from now on is I'm going to
only announce when you have a date projected.
No, I'm going to like announce and have a date and everything once the album's done. I'm gonna finish the album first. Like I'm not. It's not even gonna be announced. No one's gonna know it's a thing. I'm gonna finish the album, then I'll announce it.
I'm just gonna start like doing all my releases during dead periods.
Yeah, like during like the school months where everyone's off to school. Or
it's just like when there's like, okay, big, like, this is a month where like 3 local albums came out. This month, nothing. It's just a bunch of people promising something and then not delivering for like 5 more months.
Yeah.
Yeah, at City of Ghosts. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the album done. So then, what I can do is I can announce it. And then maybe I won't give the date, maybe I can build up to that, then give the date. And the whole thing is, I will be able to release it on whatever date that I'm talking about. I will be able to put it out, because it's already done.
No, like, 30-second clips of you at the recording studio, and then you don't even, like, give the name of the release until, like, a month after.
Regime.
Yeah. No, Regime didn't actually have that too long of a wait. They actually were pretty good with that.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like...
When did they put that single out already?
Did they? I don't remember.
I know, like, Adam Cormier was talking about it.
I know, actually, I just got, like, when they were doing Empty and they're actually, like, giving video hints of it, they were actually doing it within weeks of the release. Not like a whole 2 months before or something like that. They were too ambitious, like isn't Justin doing that where he just started, like, sending videos, like, having videos of him in the studio or something?
I didn't notice.
There's some other people. There's someone I'm starting to see people like put up videos of them they're talking about them being at the studio, and then have nothing to really like hint towards because they're just still recording.
Yeah. But yeah, also that was another thing I missed on the list. Regime has something in the works too.
That'll be good.
Yeah. I think
I want to hear more from. They only have 1 EP. Revisions has more out than they do.
It's like, and I would imagine that Robin would probably have something coming out too. I would just imagine, considering that they released a new song, and their last project was an EP, so it just seems fair to assume that
they probably have something.
They probably have something.
Yeah, definitely that.
And I just want something new, please. Like, just come up to the, please, sir, can I have some more? Because that joke's not overdone.
Maybe not for our generation, but for the generation before us, probably done to death.
We probably have, like, free reign of it now.
Yeah.
We're taking it over.
We've reclaimed it.
We're taking it over, 2K17. Because that's the meme way of saying it. We had, like, 2K, because that's what all the basketball games do, and they're a big joke.
I don't know how that was funny, but it was funny.
Oh, it was funny because it was unnecessarily aggressive, and like talking down to basketball video games because actually you should because they're bad. Play real sports.
Yeah, play real sports.
Yeah, don't pay $60 to play digital sports. Just go get a basketball and play sports.
But I think. Was there any music news that really kicked out, that really caught you guys' eye at all recently?
No.
Alright.
I just listened to a bunch of bands that are never releasing things ever again.
Alright, well, I mean, I guess that might do it for today's episode. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, so, maybe look forward to also having Joe Moat as a guest next episode. We're gonna hash out that detail when we get to that bridge. Yeah, hopefully we can keep to a Sunday recording schedule. Just gotta be more on top of things and try not to be exhausted by my 2 jobs. So this has been the inaugural episode of the Rockland Rebel Radio label, brand, thing, words, Maybe we'll be a label at some point. I have no idea.
I'm against labels. I don't want. I don't want to be labeled.
I know why they call them labels. Because you had to fit a label now to fit a label. Quote from Watsky.
What? Oh. What? I'm still confused.
Listen to 4 a.m. Monday by Watsky. Everyone.
I thought you were gonna like say something actually like a joke or something.
No, I was just quoting a song.
I mean, that quote was the right level of deep, but not as deep as like Ill Mind of Hobson.
That's because it was only one line.
Yeah.
Guys, we could never get as deep unless you go down 11 feet. Drop 11 feet. That's real deep right there. Ian, I don't make threats. I keep promises.
God damn it.
Alright, that's it. I guess it's over now.
Yeah, this
you
has
can't
been
do
it.
that.
So, yep. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. See you next week. Take care.
Bye.